Stop right there. Friday night, Caitlin Clark drops 45 points and 10 assists. One of the rarest stat lines in the history of professional basketball, men's or women's. Analysts are comparing her to Michael Jordan. The slow-motion highlight reels are still circulating on every timeline. Saturday morning, the Indiana Fever appeal her 6th technical foul. The WNBA rejects it. Saturday night, 90 seconds into the next game, Clark runs into a hard screen. She looks for the call. The referee gives her a technical foul instead. $1,000 fine. 6th of the season. 2 more, automatic 1-game suspension. No hearing, no appeal that changes anything. She sits. The most watched player in the sport just made basketball history on Friday. Her own league spent Saturday reminding her exactly where she stands. And here is the detail that turns this from frustrating to genuinely alarming. The WNBA quietly increased technical foul fines this season. Technicals 4 through 7, $1,000 each, up from $200 in previous seasons, a 500% increase. Applied universally, but landing differently depending on who is accumulating the fouls. Clark is currently tied for 2nd in the league in technical fouls, behind only Angel Reese. Clark is a perimeter playmaker. Her game is built around passing, shooting, and spacing. She is not a physical edge player, drawing contact on every drive. And yet, she is in the same disciplinary bracket as players whose games look nothing like hers. History on Friday, fine on Saturday, 2 whistles from suspension. Tonight, the full picture, and why the league may have already run out of time to fix it. To understand why Saturday felt like more than a bad call, you need to go back to June. Clark committed a technical foul against Phoenix Mercury, the kind of call most players forget by the next possession. The kind referees usually let breathe in a physical moment. The WNBA reviewed it and upheld it. Earlier in the same season, the league had rescinded a technical foul for another player in a comparable situation. Same league, same season. Different outcome. Fans noticed immediately. Screenshots circulated within hours. Side-by-side comparisons flooded every timeline. Why does a call that gets rescinded for one player stand for another? That question never went away. It compounded. Every subsequent technical foul was viewed through the lens of that June decision. By the time the 6th arrived on Saturday, fans were not reacting to one bad call. They were responding to a file they had been building since spring. Box score by box score, screenshot by screenshot, timestamp by timestamp. An entire fan base had quietly transformed itself into a fact-checking department. And what they documented was a pattern, not a coincidence. Here is what the fan documentation actually shows, and it is more organized than anything the league has produced publicly. During Fever games, fans refresh box scores mid-game, specifically to check if Clark has committed a technical that advances the suspension counter. Screenshot threads exist with video footage and timestamps for every disputed call. Side-by-side posts comparing Clark's technical foul history to players whose behavior on the same floor is objectively comparable, or worse. This is not sporadic venting. This is sustained, organized, forensic attention. And when that level of scrutiny exists, every whistle involving Clark carries weight that no other whistle in the league carries. Clark walks toward a referee after a call, and there is a pause across social media, while fans wait to find out if it triggered anything. That kind of prolonged granular focus wears on everyone: the player, the coaches, the broadcast team, and eventually, the league itself. Stephanie White, Clark's head coach, addressed it on the record. She told reporters there need to be conversations about being more strategic, about how those fouls are used against her own player. Read that carefully. A head coach, not a fan account, not an anonymous source, a professional coach, is publicly saying Clark's relationship with WNBA officiating has become something the organization actively manages, not something they hope disappears, something they plan around. When the coaching staff of a playoff contending team is strategically managing its star players' technical foul count, the league has lost control of the narrative. Now let's talk about what Clark herself has actually said, because this is where the conversation becomes impossible to dismiss. She has not presented this as a personal grievance. She has been deliberate about that. Her public argument throughout the season has been one thing: the WNBA needs full-time referees, not a reversal of specific calls, not special treatment, a structural argument, a staffing and infrastructure issue that she says creates officiating inconsistency across the entire league, for every player. That distinction changes everything about this conversation. It moves the debate from Clark feeling she gets too many technical fouls to Clark arguing the officiating system itself is broken. Those are 2 completely different claims. And the second one is significantly harder for the league office to reject without appearing to ignore a solvable problem. The league's response: fine structure increases and silence. Clark's response: repeat the structural argument publicly and keep playing. 45 points, 10 assists, franchise record, then appeal rejected, $1,000 fine, 2 away from suspension. She has made her case. The league has responded with fines and quiet. And that combination, sustained long enough, starts to look like a policy. Here is the playoff reality, and this is where the stakes become undeniable. Indiana Fever are 15-10, fighting for position in a conference that has become more competitive every week. Clark averages nearly 21 points, 8 assists, and 4 rebounds per game. She is not just the Fever's best player. She is the focal point of their entire offensive system. The player whose shooting range alone forces defensive adjustments no other Fever player can force. The player whose gravity creates the open looks that Mitchell, Boston, and Cunningham convert. If she sits, Indiana does not simply play without their best player. They rewire their entire offensive identity with 48 hours notice. With no preparation, no practice reps, no time. And here is the league reality. Every arena Clark plays in is sold out. Broadcasters cite her appearances as dependable audience drivers. The league has publicly credited her with accelerating the sport's growth beyond what any marketing campaign could have achieved. A suspension does not cost one night. It costs the league one of its most dependable commercial draws during a playoff race, when casual fans are more invested in women's basketball than at any point in history. Is the WNBA actually ready for what a Clark suspended night looks like? That is no longer hypothetical. It is 2 technical fouls away from being answered. Here is the full picture, and every piece of it points toward the same conclusion. June, technical upheld while others were rescinded. Fan documentation begins. July 18th, 45 points and 10 assists. History made. July 19th, appeal rejected. 6th technical, in 90 seconds. $1,000 fine. Fine structure, up 500% this season from previous years. Suspension threshold, 2 technical fouls away. Playoff race, every game matters. Clark's public argument, full-time referees. Structural fix, for everyone. League's public response, silence and fines. Head coach, strategically managing a problem that should not exist. Fan base, documenting every whistle in real time with timestamps and video. Media, using words like political and calculated to describe the pattern. The player, the commentators, the fans. 3 separate sources of pressure, all pointing the same direction. The league office has yet to respond with anything that addresses the structural argument Clark keeps making. 2 more technical fouls, and the conversation moves from what might happen to what just happened. The countdown is running, and the most watched player in the sport is 2 whistles from sitting out a playoff game she did nothing to deserve missing. History was made Friday. The fine came Saturday. The suspension is 2 mistakes away, and the league has not said a word about any of it. 45 points Friday, fine Saturday, appeal rejected, 2 away from suspension. The league credited her with changing women's basketball, then increased her fine structure by 500%, then rejected her appeal, then stayed silent on the structural argument she keeps making publicly. Subscribe for daily WNBA content. Drop a comment. Does the WNBA owe Caitlin Clark a real public response to the officiating argument she has been making all season? Because the fine structure, the silence, and the countdown all suggest they have already made their answer clear, and it is not the one she deserves.